What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Welcome to another Tuesday evening edition of Local Musicians.
XP?
It was a little delayed, man.
That's your speaker system, bro. I was right in there.
Nah, man.
Come on,
Yeah,
check that mixer out. Check
the
check the
J,
connect.
the J Dilla effect.
Hey,
The
check
delay.
that was on you, bro. That was right there.
Had a
Man.
flam. You know what I mean? You flam the note, man. You know you're flammed. You
What's
weren't
wrong
right on
with
your.
flam, bro?
Ah,
Flam is
man,
the note and the
can't
attack
be
before it.
can't be flamming, bruh. Can't be
I can
flamming.
flam. I can flam with the best of them, bro.
I'm gonna let you have that one, man. I'm gonna let you have that one.
I'm gonna have to listen
All
back to the
right.
YouTube link that people gonna click on.
Yeah, listen back. Go ahead, listen back. Set your metronome, whatever you need to do. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. See, what I want is local musicians.
XP.
XP. See, you're still late.
I'm not late. I just did it. There's some latency on your end,
I
bro.
want. No, I want the funk though. It got to be on the. Local musicians. XP. It got to have that
Even you put a pause in there.
local musicians. XP. It's got to have that. Got to have that. Got to be in the cut, man.
Right. Even if that were
Cut.
true, you need
In
a
the
count
cut.
off for this to be really in sync. You know what
we
I'm saying?
go. Okay, we go. All right, we're gonna have a count off, man. Next time we're gonna have a count off. We're gonna have a count off, man. Oh, hope everybody is doing well. Dealing with. Hopefully, nobody else is dealing with the sinus situation that your boy currently is dealing with. But I know some people are. It's. I guess it's that time of year or whatever. Last year, I kind of avoided it, man. I don't think I had it that severe, but boy, these last few days, boy, it's been on me. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
sinuses, sinuses, sinuses. But
That's what you get for eating better, bro.
jeez, eating better. I've been off that. That's the holidays, man. They've been making them cookies, man. Made a whole. My sister made a whole freaking thing of these peanut butter chocolate cookies.
Oh,
All gone.
oh wow. I'll tell you,
It was
since I
it
need one of those new calendars too.
had 3 rows to it. I
Three
took it
layers?
down row by row. Hmm?
Wait, 3 rows of cookies or 3 layers of cookies?
Well, yeah, 3 layers, 3 layers. Not, I'm talking about like in terms of on the that they was in the little Tupperware thing.
Oh man. Oh man.
So
And it
now it
had like a
wasn't
little
that
wax
big.
paper in between or something. Yeah.
Had a little Reynolds, had the little Reynolds wrap, man. Had the
Oh,
little foil, tin foil. But just like everything else, smaller than normal, man. So everything getting smaller. Man. Notice that
hey, bro.
you go buy something. When's the last time you got like an order of fries or something? Or
Bruh, little
they
mini
put
mini mugs,
they putting
bruh.
that in the little thumb, the little what they call that thing, the little thumb
Yeah,
like the
thimble.
little thimble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the thimble of fries,
You
man,
saw the little
thimble.
frosties that they was giving us, like a free frosty. That joint is a
And
little pepper shaker, bruh. Come on.
the free frosty,
It's like now they
dude.
call that a medium frosty or something. I don't know. Man, come on.
Everything just getting crazy. But thank you for joining us. If there's snow on the ground where you are,
Chris, your mic is popping a little bit there, bruh. That's why you probably didn't experience that instant
my mic is
XP-nism
popping.
that I did. Yeah, it's got a little
My
pop in
mic is
there.
popping. Why is it popping?
I
Can't be
don't know.
popping.
You know,
How you know it's me?
because it wasn't when I
Should
was
I
talking, and
should
I
I turn
trust
it
you as
down?
producer. Maybe that's
I
what it is.
haven't touched. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched it.
Maybe
Check
your,
one
your
two.
voice, maybe your voice is a little more robust today. You know,
I might be trying to overcompensate for
your
not.
sinuses.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think I'm talking too loud.
Maybe you took off from church on Sunday or something.
That was my fault. That wasn't my fault. We got the. But we got the text. It was like, yes, which I had a feeling anyway, man. I had a
Right.
feeling, but I think a lot of people got canceled, didn't they, on
They
on
did.
Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm talking loud because I can't really judge my voice because I can't. I'm stopped up. So uh, I will try to do better. Thank you, there, Falgood, for being behind the scenes, letting me know. All right. So, man, we got a few things going on, man. We got to do and I didn't even put it in the description, but we got the Gen recap that you gotta tell us about the Gen conference. You had some interesting things that you will not repeat on this show
I
that you
probably
said to
won't.
me.
Right.
So we get a little Gen recap, and then man, can Rich pull off the upset? Can they do it, man? Can they
You
do
look
it Monday?
excited, bro. You look excited.
Well, I'm just happy they're back in the mix, man. You know, and I feel a little something coming on. That's all I can tell you, man. I feel a little something coming on,
Shout out to Mace Hibbert for your Texas Longhorns, bro.
man.
Fumbling at that goal line there. Why?
Man, do we have to go? You already know how I feel about Sarkeesian anyway.
Man, he's dressing better.
Maybe he didn't. Well, I was gonna say maybe he wore the wrong suit.
Maybe he wore the wrong suit.
Maybe his wife didn't match up the combination was off
Right, right,
or
right.
something, and it made him, instead of just going straight ahead, you got four shots.
Maybe he had some gray and crimson socks on or something. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah, something threw him off. He
Right.
wasn't as, had to normally have the burnt orange sport coat with the
Yeah,
black with the
that's
what,
right. Yeah.
before, he'd be, you
He
can't
got a little bit comfortable in this one.
gotta look.
Got a little comfortable.
That's the wrong team to get comfortable on.
It sure was, man. It surely was.
Here's the thing, man. Great teams make you pay for every mistake that you
Yeah,
make. You
right.
can make mistakes against bad teams and you get away with it. But when you play great teams, they make you pay for it, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we will see. But man, so let's discuss a little bit about the I want you to I'm going to put it here uh in the banner,
Okay.
and just so people have an idea of what we are talking about. And the Gen Conference, you had another name for it, but it is technically the Jazz Educators
Network.
Network
Yes.
Conference.
Yeah.
So, and it happens every year, but they move it to different cities, if you
Yes.
will.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It
this
used
year
to
was in
be
Atlanta,
right.
and
Next year
uh,
is going to be in New Orleans. Shout out to Nola.
now it's in New Orleans a lot. It seems
It
like.
is in New Orleans a lot. Perfect place for it though. If you think about it. So, um,
Yeah,
it's
home of the.
near downtown Poydras and French Quarter area, so it's easy for people to get around. And the hotel just has like everything at it. So yeah, it's so it spawned. It used to be IJE, if anybody used to be a part of that, International Jazz Educators, and then they shifted gears and rebranded and named their the Situation Jazz Educators Network. And there's like three components to it. There's a research component, there's a performance component, and there's like another component of education as well, where there's workshops and stuff, which was pretty good. I saw a guy I hadn't seen in almost 20 years, great Roger Paulin. He's with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. He plays clarinet, and he also is over the program at Southern University. So shout out to Roger Paulin, killing cats. So he gave a seminar workshop on traditional jazz. So if you think about it from the lens of an educator, to meet somebody like that and talk about traditional music, then they're more apt to teach those kind of songs to their students a lot better, or interpreting, I should say. And also, it's an opportunity for them to meet those kind of people and have them at their universities or their high schools as guest clinicians and guest artists as well. So I was selected to play. My group was selected to play opening night, and we went after Layla Bialy, which
Mhm.
was really cool. She had Jeff Coffin with her and a host of other people. And man, we went after, and I decided I was like, hey, I got on the microphone. I said, hey, it's gonna be less talk and all music. I said, after this, I'm not saying anything until the end. And man, we went from song to song and just hit them, man. I got so much great response back from it. And everybody was like, hey, y'all represented Atlanta well. So opening night was really, really, really cool to have that kind of celebrity, if you will. So it really cats came through. I had the young people with me. I had, well, young to me, but I had because Robert Boone is getting up there.
They
He's
getting the
almost
yeah, yeah, yeah. They not
statesman
the
now,
young, not the young. I seen
Right,
pictures of Boone of you in the chat, bruh.
right.
About to
McCarty,
turn that corner. That
right?
corner's coming.
Boone, McCarty, Patrick, Arthur. Patrick's already developing some allergies. I'm like, oh, you're getting older now. You're getting older now.
Uh-huh.
You get a lot. You're allergic to something, right? And then
Uh-huh.
Lava High, she rocked everybody's socks off. So everybody kept saying, "Who was that vocalist?" So it was one of those things where you play as a unit so many times, and then you overcome like sound issues, and you still sound tight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
uh, if that happens, you're better able to deal with the situation or scenario if you've been playing together long enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
told a colleague today, I was like, "Hey, we have a mutual friend," and I mentioned Chris Burroughs, and she said, "Oh, I love Chris Burroughs. He's really, really great." I was like, "Man, I've been knowing Chris for a long time. We play together." She's like, "I gotta come out and hear you and Chris play because she never heard us play. She's heard you and other person play."
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it was cool because we've invested a lot of time. So playing together, sometimes you can take that for granted. So
Right.
over the
Right.
years. So it was cool. And then the ice storm hit on Friday, or the snowstorm or ice, whatever you want to call it. I didn't go back on that Friday. And because it was self-contained, nobody was really going anywhere. So that function was cool, except for some of the bands who couldn't make it. Some people
Mm-hmm.
canceled. And then
Right.
Saturday, closing night, played with Williams, and that was
Okay.
really, really cool too. So it was really, really represented. Yeah. And Lori
Great.
was really doing her thing, man. She was in her bag networking, bro. She was networked everywhere that somebody was, Lori was there. And she was like,
Right.
I mean, I learned a lot from that. I was like, man, how can I be down? I can only do half of it, bro. And I was like, I gotta go home for,
Ah,
for a second. So yeah,
man.
it's a
Some
daunting
people
task.
just they naturally gifted at that, man.
Naturally. So
Naturally gifted.
Gary Motley got a new book out. I bought his book, is Counterpoint for Jazz Piano, something like that. But it's
Right.
really, really dope. And saw a bunch of people who was able to from around the world, to play and stuff. So it was
Right.
great, great time.
Yeah, I heard this piano player was there, man, that I used to be around here a little bit, man, and
Ah,
I got a bone to pick, bro. I got a beef with that cat, man. I got a beef with that cat, man.
yeah. The
Left us
crazy thing is, bruh,
left
these
us high
cats.
and dry, huh?
Yeah, this cat had the nerve to show up at Red Light Cafe too.
Man, wait till we get him on the show. I can dress him down a little bit. Wait till like Will Minifield, if you in the chat, I'm
Bruh.
mad at you, man. I'm never gonna let you live that down, leaving us, man.
You say you got to take a job, bro. He
He
left me
took
too,
one
bruh.
too.
He left
He
me
took one
too.
too.
I
Yeah,
can't.
he
I
did. That's
can't.
what I'm saying. Can I get
I
some?
can't.
Can I
I
get some
can't go
help?
anywhere now, bro.
Can I get some help?
Right. Right.
I can't, man. But no, it was good. I saw him in some videos, man, and playing and stuff. So it was good to see his face. Yada yada yada. Whatever.
Right.
So, well, that's cool, man. I mean, those kinds of situations are, you know, if you do the right thing. I mean, it's just having the energy and the drive to really, because some people could just, that's their bag, man. Is the
Yeah,
marketing thing, the meeting people, and that's a big part of what we should be doing. But
right,
a
right,
lot of us, man, we just it just doesn't come. It's something that you have to work at, you
right,
know.
right. But it's
Sometimes I'm
all
good at it, sometimes I'm not,
no, you're normally good at it unless you don't want to be bothered.
um
If you don't want to be bothered, that's you're like you're like switch.
man.
Right. But it's also a good barometer or metric to gauge yourself against other people, and see if you're on the right track or what your development. We always want to check your development because sometimes you can be in a tunnel, you can be in tunnel in one region and doing what you do, and then say, am I keeping up with what's going on, or am I still
Mhm.
trending the right way? Am I up on it? How am I gauge my playing against? Not to compare yourself to to see if you're better than somebody, but just check the
Right.
temperature, dip your toe in, and see. It's a good barometer to see where you fit in. And we held our own as Atlanta artists, with some great players. There's amazing players there, and yeah, we held our own. So I was happy. I was pleased.
So you said next year
New Orleans.
it's in New Orleans. Okay.
Yeah, got to go to that one.
Cool, man. Cool. Um,
Yeah.
so all right. Well, we got a guest. He should be coming in any minute now, and we're going to. I got some man. I watched the. You had asked me a while back, had I watched the Luther Vandross um,
Yes, documentary.
documentary? So I got a lot of questions, man.
Yeah.
A lot
Okay.
of questions.
You gonna ask Cleveland
Um,
questions, or you just have questions now?
well, I'm gonna ask Cleveland some questions about just there's some things, man, that I just it's disappointing to see that the lineage of what certain people have laid down, in other words, or have left us uh, in proper terms, right?
Yeah.
Um, just not being carried out, man.
I just think in all things right now, we're sacrificing craftsmanship for convenience.
It's
It's
just, man, but I mean, the if anyone hasn't seen the Luther Vandross documentary, I highly recommend. If you really, really want to remember what brilliant genius singing
work
used
ethic,
to be,
all that. Yeah.
but it doesn't happen without that. That was like I mean,
But you're
I'm
talking
a
about
huge,
craftsmanship. You're talking about craftsmanship. Craftsmanship
well,
takes a long time, takes skills, it takes tutelage, it takes learning how to do one thing. Convenience is I'm gonna go to IKEA and I'll get a table from there.
I mean, but I got some IKEA. You
I
just
didn't
can't
say
have
anything was wrong
everything
with
being,
I didn't say anything was wrong with IKEA.
but you can't have a house full of IKEA, right?
you,
Because a
no,
house full,
you can have a house full of IKEA, that's fine, but you can't say it's valuable. You can't go in and say, "Hey, I got the most expensive furniture." You go in and it's IKEA. You know what I'm saying? IKEA is form and function for what it is, but you can't turn around and say this is a work of art. It's not. And I think when we we develop ourselves as musicians, we have a lot of people who are entertainers who happen to call themselves the greatest singers ever. Like, yo, cut that out. You're not the greatest singer. You're a great entertainer. Okay, there's a difference between the craftsmanship. All
but
piano players,
okay, there's very, very, very few people that you can say have both the craft, as you say, the craftsmanship and the entertainment level. That's very difficult to achieve both of those, man,
it is.
because a lot of times the two kind of work against each other
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
to be a great entertainer, there's certain technical things that you have to sacrifice in order to become a great entertainer, right? And
Yes.
but there's so many things that I want to talk about, man. Our guest has just arrived. We're gonna kind of just pop them in, and we're gonna get the party started, as you say.
Going
I'm
straight in
very
like
excited.
this?
Go bring them in, man. I
No
mean,
intro.
we're gonna no, we're gonna warm them up a little bit. Okay, we're gonna
Okay.
warm up a little bit,
Yeah.
but I really want to get to it, man, because I got questions,
Got questions.
and this is about the only cat that I know right now that can probably answer these questions. So um, I'm gonna actually say the first time I heard this cat was at 800 East
Wow.
Studios, okay, which has been a home for all of us for years in terms of recording. Do you remember when they were doing concerts? Marty Kearns
Yes.
was doing some
Say
concerts
it
over
again.
there,
Say it
right?
again. Yeah.
And I played over there with I did some stuff with Kyrie over
Yeah.
there and a couple different people, but doing these concerts, man. Rondo was did some stuff over there.
Right. Right.
Uh and it was cool, But that was the first time I ever saw this cat. This cat walked out clean like Philip Michael
Irish
Thomas off
Spring.
of Miami Vice or something, bro. Had to clean the jacket. I was like, man, who never?
Always
I don't
clean.
even
Yeah.
think I'd ever even heard of the cat before. I was like, man, who
Right.
is this cat?
Right. Right.
You know? And Marty had told me about him though. He said, man, I
Right.
got this singer, man. I got this singer you got to check out. I said, okay. And you know, heard the cat, and I was like, wow, okay. Because it was not what I expected, even though Marty is funky, right? Marty's a funky cat. And that's his bag, really. A lot of people don't even really know that, right?
Right. Right.
But this cat was bringing like the whole like gospel thing to, and I don't want to pin him as a gospel singer. He's got that bag. He got a lot of bags. He got
Is that
jazz.
what
He
you
got
heard
R&B.
when you first saw him?
But
So yeah.
that's what I heard when I first saw him.
Right.
Killed it. Like, whoa, okay. So then fast forward to the Sisters in Song. Was it Sister? Is that what we were called? Is that I'm
No.
even maybe
Are
I'm
you
talking
talking
out of
about the one
turn.
in
What
Ebenezer?
the one that I
Yeah, that's the
MD'd.
first time
Was
I
that
met
Sister?
Steven. That was the first time I met him at that one. That was I don't think you call it Sisters in Song. That was
Yeah, I
Kathleen's.
can't remember. No, Sisters
You
in Song
called
was Kathleen's thing.
yeah, you called it something else, but
Something
yeah.
else. Anyway. But we did a concert over at Ebenezer and
Right.
he was playing with cellist stuff.
Cellist. A Corey? No,
A Corey, yeah. Yeah.
Corey. And
Yeah.
then a guitar
And
player.
maybe another cat on guitar or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah. I can't remember.
something like that.
Tall cat on guitar. Yeah,
Yeah. So and they had a vibe. So it was like, and
yeah.
that's when we kind of connected. We all
Yeah.
talked and
That
you
was my
know,
first time here. And I was like, who is that? I was like,
yeah,
control I was like, wait. Because
yes, sir.
there's a finite number of male singers in this town too. So you might as well put that on. It's about maybe three that I could think of. That's
But even it like in our there's
yeah,
I don't think there's only I mean, yeah, there are some, but not like in the circles that we sort of
right,
walk in.
right.
He's
So
like,
to hear that was like, whoa, refreshing and surprising because I was like,
yeah.
who is this? And such an iconic name too,
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. So no further ado, we're gonna bring in our brother,
What?
the great Cleveland
Does
Jones.
people say
Greetings,
Cleveland?
guys.
Cleveland Jones? Cleveland.
Cleveland, Clifford, you name it. I get many of them.
Clifford. Don't do the Clifford, bro.
I know, but they'll give me that sometimes.
Oh man, good to see you,
Cleveland,
man.
Good to see you guys.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
for
Do you
having me
remember the
here.
first time you met Chris, man? Did Chris how did Chris talk to you, bro?
Well, you know what? I do really. I don't know if it was before then, but I do remember it was called Ladies of Jazz, and it was
Ladies of Jazz.
it was in
And
2000.
ladies, that's what it was.
Yeah,
That's
it was
what
August 2016.
Wow,
That's
great
right.
memory there. Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'll never forget that because that was such a cool moment, and I still watch the videos sometimes just to keep myself afloat of what I used to do.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, man.
it's sometimes nice to revisit. But yeah, that's when I met him, and we were in. Of course, we were doing sound check, and me and Corey, and it was John Houston.
John
guitar.
Houston, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were all, figuring it out. We called ourselves Nuance Ensemble, like Nuance Ensemble, and we were just testing something out, and that was the first actual moment we decided to do anything together.
Wow.
And so that was a debut, which people really didn't know. So that was our first time really getting out there doing something. And I was like, and I felt the freedom to do it. I had Corey, who's so amazing. Of course, John, who's so amazing. But then again, back to meeting Mr. Chris Burroughs. Mr. Chris Burroughs is walking through with he's walking through. In fact, I have my friend Roxanne, who's now passed on. I have video of that sound check. So there's video of me actually, you walking in and through, and you kind of was giving me these looks like, who's
right. That's him.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, what that means. You know what I'm saying?
Vibes.
I don't know if it's
Vibes and checkout,
So yeah, and that's how we connected. But I do remember sometime after that, we saw each other again. I was with Yacht Rock Schooner, and we were at the Ritz-Carlton, which is no longer Ritz-Carlton, across from the Lenox Mall.
Oh yeah.
And you were doing a Christmas show downstairs, and we were doing some corporate thing.
Okay.
And he was like, "Man, I want to work with you one day. I plan to do something with you one day." And even though it took however long, we did it. So I'm
absolutely
honored.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I did, several Yacht Rock Schooner shows with you. And,
exactly.
And then
I'm trying to look like I'm level with you guys.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you straight. Yeah, you straight.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. And and that was always cool. But I have just this past year we did that really cool show out at Lake Oconee.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Man,
that was a good test. That was early too. So I was like, woo! Don't know what's gonna happen, but it was fun. It was a ton of fun.
The thing is, man, I like cats where I don't have to. I can just give them an outline, and they can fill in the blanks, man.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about. And dude, we didn't stress about any of the song. We didn't stress about anything.
Nothing.
We just talked about some ideas, and lo and behold, and the freedom, right? You got to have some freedom on things. So so I think you're getting opportunity because we've talked a little bit about you sort of trying to, and you have gotten more into jazz and improvisation and working with more jazz musicians and how that's had a great just effect on just how you might go about it. Really kind of any gig now is where you have more options to maybe do things than you did before. But man, just tell us a little bit about you're a house graduate.
Yeah.
And just tell us a little bit about your beginnings and your upbringing, and what was your first sort of encounter with music?
Yeah. Well, I'm from a little town called North in South Carolina. So very
okay.
South Carolina.
Man.
So, very, very southern. We don't have a grocery store anymore. We only have a railroad and maybe I think a Family Dollar, Dollar General, and maybe 2 convenience stores or something like that. So but hey,
Dollar General, man. You good?
So
it's everywhere.
No, I just got the shower, so that's why I was like, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, TMI. But the thing was, I started with of course it was church. It was church with my mom. My mom would always sing around the house. My grandfather would always sing around the house. He was a deacon and in the church, so he would always do all the hymnals and stuff like that. And I would always see my mom sing, which was at that time called the Inspirational Choir, and I was in the Sunbeam Choir, the kids choir. And I just always, would just listen to what she was doing. But I remember one day just basically being at the house, cleaning up. I think I was sweeping something, and I was singing around, humming, because I kind of mimicked what she did. So whatever I heard her do, I was just kind of doing it. And mom also didn't really play a lot of gospel in the house, even though we was churchy a little bit. You know, we would listen to Marvin Cease and Lynn White, and the B-side music, we would listen to Betty Wright. So me and my sister knew, what is it, Nervous and Trembling? What is it? We were these little kids singing this song about losing your virginity at the first time.
Okay.
So, you know, we're a song by Betty Wright. Tonight is the night you make me a woman. So we just, you know, we just listening because this is what mom played. You know, Candy Liquor Girl. You know, I love my mom, but this is what we were.
Marvin Cease, boy.
Marvin Cease. And Tyrone something, not Tyrone Jackson, of course. Tyrone Davis, I think his name.
Tyrone Davis.
Yep. Yeah. So we listened to a lot of that B-side music that she played a lot. So one day I'm just around the house, you know, sweeping and singing or whatever, and she kind of just noticed it, and she was like, you know, you're gonna go to church and you're gonna sing. And I told her I wasn't, because I was a shy kid, you know. And basically she just kind of pushed me to that place. I was maybe around 9 years old when it happened. So that was really my true introduction of loving music, but very scared, very shy. But mom didn't really give me a choice. You know, she's like, you're gonna do it. And so from that moment, here I am today, you know, struggling, fighting through it, but here I am.
Shout out to that, Cleveland, because my mother made me and my brothers take piano lessons, and that wasn't even a choice. I never saw shown any interest in it. She said, that's what you're going to do, because she said she regretted it. But your mom saw something in you, and like you said, you weren't looking for it.
No.
If she didn't push you into it, where would you be right now?
Right. That's true. I definitely would. I'll be working some corporate job, I'm sure. And corporate jobs are great. More importantly,
where would we be without you?
Oh, that's so kind.
Man, that's really interesting, because I just put this together. It's like, you know, my dad made everybody in the family take music lessons. There was no, you know, I just kind of really thought about that. I mean, we all showed interest in music and, you know, listening to music or whatever, but that was like, there was no question. It was like, you're going to take music lessons, pick an instrument.
Wow.
And that's interesting.
That's awesome. My mom, she did allow me, when I was, again, country Southern Baptist Clay Road Church, you know, and so the piano at the church was forbidden to be touched if you didn't play piano. But my grandfather would allow me, you know, even though it was kind of scary to go out to the you know, church in the woods, because there was a graveyard. I was a kind of scary kid, but he would give me the key to the church when nobody was, you know, like during the week. And he'll let me say, hey, go out and play and, you know, come on home. So I would just figure something out. Still not great at it. I'm definitely no Tyrone. Hello. But you know, they didn't stifle what could have been stifled. You know, I was told, you know, to don't touch that piano or whatever. So he was like, you know, I know how they are on Sundays. The ladies of the church are going to tell you, to the mothers of the church, going to say, get off of that. And but during the week, he would, you know, people didn't know that, but he would give me the key to the church, and I would go and you know, fiddle and figure something out. Yeah.
You know, you just reminded me of something. Oh, there's North South Carolina.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of something, Cleveland. We have not worked together.
I never even heard of that.
You know, I've worked with you through Rhonda.
We were on a gig or something together.
Yeah. You were playing. I went to your house, and I was singing backgrounds with her and Jay Evans.
Oh yeah. But we haven't really worked
together. And it's been such a desire to work with you.
Okay.
Because I remember telling you, I was like, this man, I said, you have such, and I don't know if you recall, I said, you have such a Joe Sample touch to how you play.
Nice. Okay.
Because I love Joe Sample, and I could hear something about how you tickle the keys. And I remember. Okay.
2025, we're doing this.
Done.
I already got some. Okay, I got you. We're going. If I can get on your schedule, though, I don't know. Used to, you know, I don't know if I can get on the schedule now. You know?
Let's do this, okay? Let's knock off the myth. I don't know what it looks like to outside people, but this dude could use the work. Okay, so let me say that much.
Look,
so
let me tell you, you're everywhere. You're everywhere now, and it's a blessing. And that really leads me to my next question. I know Chris has a billion questions, but let me. The evolution of what you have been doing. And usually in this kind of scenario, I was talking to this singer named Trinice Matthews, Dr. Trinice Matthews. And she gave a workshop about the voice, particularly the Black voice, how you can get typecast. And sometimes people say, you're not jazzy enough, but you're too gospel, but you're not R&B, but you're not rock, you know, and And so people would try to classify what you are, especially your voice. If anybody hasn't heard your instrument, then there's a uniqueness to it that people can't classify, and it seems like it's a problem. My question to you is that a problem classifying? Well, that's part A of the question. Is it a problem classifying your voice and the evolution of Cleveland Jones, where now you're doing straight ahead jazz, doing rock, all these other things? How did that evolution come about, and what would you label your sound as if you could label it?
Well, I definitely would say, I mean, okay, so confession session. I've always wanted to, I want to do a jazz album. And so I thought I was going to be finished with that jazz album in 2024, which I have not. I've been working on a project, and we'll talk about that later if it's okay to speak on that.
Sure.
And I think I finished the vocals to that today. I pray I did.
Really?
And I hope that I'm finished, but we'll find out. That's another story. But what classifying myself in, were there any problems? I'm going to go back to Morehouse College when I was in the Glee Club, sung in the Glee Club, first tenor, but very shy singer. There's a lady by the name of Ramona Estelle, who's actually the wife of Canton Jones, if you're not familiar with him.
Right.
So Canton and I all was in the Glee Club together, and we also was in a group together called Spectrum while we were at Morehouse. So she heard me once and she said, "Gosh, you have such a jazzy sound." So she took me over to Dr. Joe Jennings, and had me sing something. He told me, he said, "Hey, you need to start researching Little Jimmy Scott." And when he said that, I was like, okay, so I never heard of Little Jimmy Scott. I was not aware of Sarah Vaughan, I heard of Ella and Billy, but it just wasn't really in it. And when he told me that, I went and listened. I was like, I think I almost kind of cried when I heard Little Jimmy Scott. I was like, oh my God, this kind of sounds like me, but not me, the timbre, the energy, the tenderness, the vulnerability in the voice. And I think from that moment, I fell in love with jazz. So I learned Autumn Leaves, and then I'm going to trickle over to meeting Al Smith, who does Apache Cafe. Al Smith, I'm singing backgrounds for this girl from Berkeley. I didn't even know much about Berkeley. I didn't go there yet. He hears me in the background at his house. We were rehearsing at his house, and he said, "Man, you need to come out to Apache and come sing something." This was in, I think, 2021. No, not 21. Lord, no. 2001.
I'm like, you fresh on the scene?
Man, you
fresh.
You a fast learner. You fast.
That was bad. So it was in 2001, and once I got there, I sung Autumn Leaves. That was the first jazz song I ever learned. And he said, "Man, you're always welcome back on your stage." And ever since then, I was trying to go find the next jazz song that I could learn. So My Funny Valentine, all these things, the standards, trying to learn them. And then I would go back and perform them. And it was always a cool response to them. And it was also very avant-garde moments, because I think that a lot of the musicians in Atlanta would try to get a little juicy with it. And I call it juicy because they would get a little creative, knowing, I guess, testing your ear, testing to see if you can flow. And I was able to. However, there were times where I'm like, I don't like this arrangement at all.
Right.
I can hear you. I'm going with you, but I don't really like this. And everybody else is like, "Woo!" And I'm like, this is crash and burn for me in my spirit. But I also know save face, still go, thankful for the ability to hear and also vocally be able to do whatever is needed to, execute the song and get it done. So the start that's kind of how the matriculation of me started. It started, home, singing in the house, then down, to church. My mom had me going to these little programs, and they started calling me Master Cleveland. I thought that was weird, because they would say that as for kids, and I was like, "Wow, just call me Master."
Corey Henry talks about it all the time.
Really? Wow. So I would be called Master Cleveland Jones, and I was like, "Why? Like, why would he call me Master?"
Wow.
So I remember that being a thing and feeling very awkward with it. But again, growing from there, going through teenage years, and always waiting for was that strange thing that, the vocal break that a lot of us guys go through. And my voice deepened as I spoke, but it actually grew on both sides. And I remember listening to Patti LaBelle say, if you exercise your voice correctly, it grows on both sides. It grows down, it grows on both spectrums, lower and higher, if you exercise it, and take care of it. So I always kept that in mind, not to say mine grew, but I'd have more confidence in what I'm doing now, I'm pretty sure, and I also don't feel like I need to reach all the high notes. Like I'm so over that. It became the thing. Oh, your range is crazy, and that's nice. But like I hear amazing, stupendously crazy ranges these days, and I don't feel like I need to match it. I don't need to be anything like it. It's like, okay, that's great, but so anyway, I think we're roundabout told you how it all happened. So this is where I
That's
am today.
that's pretty deep, man. There's some deep stuff in there. Because there's things that, Tyrone and I have talked about several times, on this show about the relationship between the church and whatever you want to call secular music, or when, church musicians, you know, graduate into secular music or get chosen to play secular music or just choose to do something else other than gospel.
Mhm.
And the anointing that some of the young that you get when you're young and you're talented and you're in the church, and just like you said, you just broke it down right there, Master Cleveland, and you're
Yeah.
like,
What is that?
Master, what am I?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that though a little bit? What was, I mean, obviously that made you feel uncomfortable. Now, some people, they'll run with that.
Yeah, I
I
didn't.
think it depends on, So yeah, just talk a little bit about that
Oh yeah.
that subject.
Well, I can tell you when it was being titled that. I remember asking my grandfather, Deacon Allen Jones, God bless his soul, why do they say that? Because they started having me go to the convention. So every month or every quarter, they would have these conventions where the church had to represent somebody, you had to go up and sing for somebody. So I was kind of always there for Flora Branch Baptist Church. Shout out to y'all. Don't judge me. This is the truth from my side. But yeah, I would go and do that. But that for me, it made me more shy. I didn't get it because it sounded like something that was greater than me. So being called master what? Master of what? So, but I do remember reading a play when I started taking theater, and that a kid was being referenced as master, and it was a title given to a child. So I remember reading up on. I can't give you all details because I don't want to sound too ignorant about it because I don't know that a lot about it. But I will say it made me feel awkward, and also I felt responsible.
Yeah, right.
Made me feel very responsible. So what happened was we would change ministers in the church, and all of a sudden, Cleveland had to do Master Cleveland has to come up and do a solo before the sermon, and it felt like a lot of pressure every time, and
Right.
to get up and do that, and then it was expected. So every Sunday I had to get up and sing, and I'm thinking, I don't know what my voice is doing. I didn't know it was pretty or whatever you want to call it. I'm just singing, and I know that my mom was looking at me with a side eye if I don't do it. Right. You just kind of get up and just do it. So it was good rearing in a way, but do I understand fully what was happening? I didn't understand it. I just got up and did it.
So with that moniker attached, and your humility just shines through. But did you ever feel like you knew what your gifting was, and then when you went to a place where they had a lot of gifted people, that you're like, oh, okay, there's a lot of people that has something, you going to Berkeley or whatever, can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I went to Berkeley, well, even Morehouse was very, well, try to be cautious. Well, Morehouse, I mean, it's a great place. It was my favorite place to study. But it was a lot of egos. I'm just going to say it was a ton of egos. There was a lot of smart people. Of course, there's Spelman across the street. There's Morris Brown. There's Clark Atlanta. There are a lot of gifted people you were around. And it was very competitive. And I just wasn't that competitive type. My mom always said, I always wondered why. I'm going to say this. I always wondered why I felt she wasn't supportive. I know that she meant to be, and I believe in her heart she was. But she says, Cleveland, the reason why I don't tell you, you got this, you can do it. She says, because I don't want to see you hurt. She would say, always expect the worst, but hope for the best. That was always locked in my head.
Wow.
So I never ever walked in any place thinking that, okay, it's really going to work out. It's like I hope it works out. If it works out, well, yay. But if it didn't, okay, well, that's kind of the thing. Yeah. So so that being locked into my psyche, I always just grew up thinking like, well, Cleveland, let's just say this. In Atlanta and some other places, people like to say, man, this is your season. This is your time. And when you hear it, and I'm thinking, well, where is it? Did I miss it? Because and that stuff for me was tough because, being a little ignorant and expecting what I'm hearing people say, I'm expecting this door to fling open, or I'm expecting someone to come in and kind of save me and say, "Hey, man, you're so brilliant, you're so great. Let's take you on the road. Let's do this thing. Let's cut this album." And I've had something like that happen. We won't get into that one because it's a little murky and messy. So I don't want to bring up names. But it was a mess. But it was a great learning tool for me to not invest so much in people's words. And to really, really stay, keep me on the humble side. I was never the type who felt like I needed to be, I'm Cleveland and you need to come see me. I never felt like that. So again, I got to credit my mom for that one too, because that one statement, hope for, expect the worst, but hope for the best, kind of just stuck in me. And so if something great happens, it is really like, ooh, what a great surprise for me. And I'm still like that kind of to this day. It's like, oh, y'all choose me? Because there's a million other singers out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I always look at it from that standpoint. That's why it's very humbling. Now, I have grown up to finally love and embrace my voice, and also realize, again, all the high stuff and all the melismas don't have to happen to make a great sound. And because initially it felt like you had to compete to be seen.
Right.
And I just don't want to be a part of that. And if I feel like I'm being kind of coerced into that thing with stuff on the scenes or open mic sessions, that's why I don't go to them. It's not no shade on. God bless all y'all who do it. Keep doing it. You sound amazing. For me, it's something about it. Like I want to go and sit and learn. I like to go sit and learn. I want to, So yeah, I had a heyday.
I remember we were playing with Carmen Bradford, and I think you came out to that show, and then she had you sing, I think, or something. I
remember that.
Yeah, and
Carmen.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Okay.
And she just raved about your voice, but Carmen is one. I remember she sang a song. She's like, "Hey, I challenge any of these vocalists to check out this song," But yeah, it's to learning, bro. Yeah, and the evolution there is that goes with it. I mean, I think that's really hip, Cleveland, that you have that perspective, because this doesn't happen often at all.
I gotta give you this little small Carmen Bradford moment for me.
Okay.
So during that sound check, when I met you, Mr. Chris, she was, were you playing for Carmen?
I was, yeah.
Okay, wait, so were y'all playing for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so it was you,
and
Kevin Smith. Okay, yeah, I got all y'all on video. Sure do. All right. So after the sound check, Carmen was walking in on the sound check that I was doing, and as soon as I was done, I walked down and I already researched her because I never met her before, and I was just like, oh my God, this lady is amazing. I already know she's just everything. And I went down and she said, "You badass. You badass." And so I'm thinking like, what? Me? So and that was, and then eventually she invited me over to her house and we had a great lunch, and she cooked this great meal and we talked about it. She gave me advice. I saw, of course, all the memorabilia and all the stuff she's done throughout her life. I'm like, this lady's Count Basie. She's like, she has a picture with Louis Armstrong. Like it was just like, and I was just so blessed for that moment. And then of course I got invited to her birthday party that same year, and with some of the people came and sung around, her piano, and it was So I count myself as a little kid in the candy store.
Yeah, she called you a badass. I remember
she did. She said, "You bad," and I was like, "Woo, okay." Coming from her, I will take that. Absolutely take it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, listening to you, man, it's like the consistency of a person is in my opinion everything. If it's I know what that cat, from the first time I met him, he's exactly the same way as the last time I saw him. And you have that, you have that personality where I think we have a lot of things in common in that way, where even though we could, we're both gonna open our mouths and have something to say. You know what I mean? Like that's without a doubt. It's coming. You know what I mean? But at first we sit in the cut. and just kind of observe,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And Tyrone, you know, one of our favorite movie scenes is an American Gangster where Denzel Washington is, you know, his brother is all, you know, pimped out now and hanging out with Nicky Barr, hanging out with all the drug dealers, and got this loud suit on. And he's like, looks at him, he's like, man, what is this? And he's like, man, this is a very, very, very nice suit. He said, no. He said that is a license to get killed or whatever he said, but his main thing that he said was, he said the loudest one in the room is the weakest one. And that will forever, I think, man, that's the one thing that I think always holds true. I'm not trying to, I mean, I know there's people that have great personalities, and I'm not talking about everybody that's like that, but for the most part, the loudest one in the room is the weakest one, man. And I think
thank you.
You sort of like have that sort of same kind of mindset.
Cleveland likes to sit in the corner, in the cut.
I've noticed.
When it's time to talk, I grew up feeling awkward and weird because I didn't know what to say. I didn't have the.
I love it, man.
You know, with the homeboy, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have a lot of that. So I was like, shut up and say nothing.
I love it, man.
I remember it though, but
my cat.
Here's the thing,
my dude.
When you sit in the cut and you have a talent, those vultures and sharks start coming. And I remember I told Chris, I said, Chris, I wonder, once he gets on the radar, these sharks are going to be coming, circling around.
Oh, we did talk about that.
We did. And I said, I wonder how he's going to react to that. And there's hurt that could come with that, because
yes, of course,
there could be promises, right? And it could be this and that. And you have to learn how to navigate that.
Yeah.
You know,
that's fresh. That's fresh meat.
I've already had
fresh meat.
I'll give you a great, and the way you're saying that is taking me back to a statement that was made to me when I, again, starting the whole Apache thing. And I remember getting a feature in, I forget the name it was, but it was like a featured moment at some hotel, at the W Hotel one day. And this lady came up to me that I do know, you know, we was in super choir together, but she said to me, again, not giving names, but she said to me, she says, Cleveland, I don't think you understand what the gift you carry. And I said, okay, like, So when she said that, she said, I'm gonna tell you, she said, you're kind of like a hoe that's gonna get pimped out. I'm gonna tell you that. She said that to me.
It's true, right?
She says she said, because you're too nice, you don't know how to say no. Right. People will notice your talent, and they also know that you don't really know your talent that well. So they're gonna be able to use that against you, or really just use you up until they can.
Shout out to her.
When she said that to me, of course it was like, it stung me, because I was like, what? I'm just here doing what I do, you know? But I understand it now, and I've been feeling like a good old hoe a lot. And, but now I'm, you know, hopefully get in pimp position and hold other people out. But that's not the goal at all. But
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying.
I never forget it. You know, and then at first
there's a lot, man.
It's daunting. It's daunting.
There's a lot to be learned in that culture. There's a lot to be learned.
Musicians too. It's wannabe managers and promoters and all of that, you know, that go along with it. So yeah.
And I think that's where, you know, some people, man, they can just throw caution to the wind, let the chips fall where they may, and they're very good about being able to sift through the trash. And I can't do that. I kind of have to like let things I have to kind of see. Now I'm a very good judge of where I think things are going with certain people, almost to a fault. Tyrone will tell you that. But at the same time, I can't jump in like, if I see a war happen, you know, I'm a Libra. So are you. So
God bless
we're running the other way, right? If trouble breaks out, we're gone. We're not sticking around to see what happened. We're not trying to find out we don't want to know nobody's business. We don't want to know any information about anything. All we want to do is get up out of there. Am I correct?
You are 100% correct. I'm going to give you, and this is not the most savory name for a guy, but I was given this name.
Uh-oh.
When I was at Morehouse College and in the Glee Club. And, you know, when stuff seemed a little fishy or interesting, I would disappear. And so they said, oh, that's Terry McMillan. They would say, because she has a book called Disappearing Acts. Oh. So I got that name because I knew how to it's funny and it's whatever they call it. I didn't care. But you didn't know. When I left, I left. And I didn't say anything. So I was... So while y'all just gathering and talking and having a great old time, and I'm like, oh, this is a lot. I'm kind of having those moments like, oh, this is okay, y'all go
another Libra brother of ours, man, Russell Gunn. We talk about that all the time. We're like, man, we're out. We don't want to know nothing. We're out.
I said, that's not mine. I give that back. That's not mine.
Yeah. Now we will find out about it later. Mm-hmm. What happened?
Okay, good example. Good.
We will make the right phone calls and find what actually happened there. You know,
I'll give you this. I was given this. Okay, I'm going to say his name because he said it to me and I thought it was funny and it did catch me off guard. So we had this great day in Atlanta picture they were taking with the jazz people at WCOK, which was really fun, and I was so honored to be part of it. And it was time for us to have an interview, and I think I was interviewing with Rhonda Thomas. Okay. And the and the on-air personalities said to me before we got on the air, he says, "Man, you know when the we had a banquet for you all, and you didn't, we couldn't find you. You just left." And so I said, yeah, I just want to go home and take my clothes off. I had the whole suit and I was ready to go. So I just left, I just take the picture. Hi, how you doing? Let's go. And that was me and it wasn't being anti for me. It may look like it to others, but for me,
right.
He said, yeah, you ghosted us. And I said, oh, well, sorry. So because I'm not shifting that to, and he said in a comedic way. However, at the end of the interview, we got to talking in the hallway, and it was time to leave. And and the talking was just becoming talking that really didn't involve me. And so I said, okay. And my mom, literally, this is the honest God truth, my mom had called. And I answered, I said, I got to go. My mom called. He says, there you go. You ghosted us again. And so
this is my brother. This is my brother from another time, man. This is my brother.
So when he said that, he pulled me to the side, we embraced, and I thanked him for, of course, having me on air. And he said to me, he says, I wish I was more like you.
Hey, Cleveland, the only difference is you had a real phone call.
I did. I really did. It's my mom.
Chris got the fake
joint. Don't give up my secret. Don't give up my secrets. Give up my secrets.
So wait. Oh, so you press your phone and it does it. That's what you're doing, the fake ring?
Hey, I just hold it up. We just hold it up.
Hey, yo. Hey,
all I'm going to say is.
I got to run.
Yeah. And I wish I could apologize, but I'd be lying if I did.
Oh.
So I understand it, brother. Continue to do it, because if you got to get away, because you know what it is, we give a lot, and when it's time to regroup, I need that regrouping moment for myself. I need my solitude, and I'm going to have it, so I will find my way through it, and I will disappear on you. And I'm not trying to, but I need to disappear.
Well, I'm the one y'all calling then, because
I've seen somebody else pick up on that trait too, though, and use it. And you in the middle.
Oh, wait. I am a learner. Don't get me wrong.
No question. I'm like, oh, man. That's funny, man. All right, man. Man. See, now we're even more connected, bro.
Yeah,
even more connected.
Absolutely.
This is incredible.
I just always stay in the cut. That's just me. I like being in the cut.
All right. Tyrone, I know you got another question. I need to take care of these sinuses real quick. I will be right back, y'all. Keep at it.
Yeah. Okay. So, man, Cleveland, growing up in North South Carolina.
Yeah.
what prompted your move to Atlanta? And you're very eloquent speaking, and you have like very knowledgeable and stuff like that. I'm not talking about small town USA, but it's very uncommon and rare that people guess that you're maybe from a metropolis like Atlanta. But can you talk about that journey and how'd you get to this place where you are now?
Yeah, well, that journey, of course, North South Carolina. I went to this. I'll give it to you. Here I go. My brain is on it. I want to say it was the year 1991, December 1991. I was looking at TV at my granddaddy's house, and the Kennedy Honors came on. And there was Robert Shaw being honored. I think it was that being honored at the Kennedy Honors, getting those medals they get. And the Morehouse College Glee Club was there. I never heard of Morehouse College ever in my life. And so I got up there and I saw all these men who looked like me up there singing. And I was like, oh my God, where's this? And I remember I couldn't say Morehouse. I went to my guidance counselor that Monday and I kept saying some place called Moore something. He says, oh, Morehouse. He says, oh, that would be perfect for you, is what he said. Right. And this is, senior year in high school. And I just became obsessed with how to get in to Morehouse College. And, I'm from a very small town. I think we only graduated 77 people in my class, very small. So in the end, I didn't go directly. When I did get accepted, which I was very grateful for, I didn't go as soon as I got accepted. I had to think about, I was in the upward bound program as well. So there was Leroy Fogel. So thank you, Mr. Leroy Fogel. If you ever see this, I deeply appreciate you for giving me such encouragement. It was a thing where I didn't, there was, this is going to go real. Okay. So when I applied to Morehouse, there was a section on the application that asked for a picture. Okay, so this is going to give a little colorism moment. Okay. I decided because I was so dark skinned that I was not going to submit a picture because I looked at the brochure and it didn't have a mini of me dark on that. So I was like, if I get in, I just get in on my own merit. So it won't be based on how I look.
At least you didn't catfish it, put some light skin.
I put nothing. I was like, I may be too dark. I don't know if I passed the paperback test. I'm serious. Like that's how I thought. I was, I was 17 years old and I didn't know. So at any rate, I remember, finally sending it in. They still I got accepted. I didn't go right away. Like I said, I stayed right after high school. I went ahead and started working. In my family, we come from, as soon as you get out of high school, you help your mama.
Right.
So so I took 4 years of that to help my mom. I went to work in warehouses, you name it. Hands dirty. I did the job, and so I come from that kind of work versus what looks like, oh, he's just a musician and singing. It wasn't like that in the beginning. It was hard work. And from there on, I, again, would sing again. It was mainly church. And then eventually, when I got to Morehouse, it became a thing of opening up to sing. I was still very, very timid, very shy. Again, it's very competitive. The Glee Club, though I love it, it was just very competitive.
Well, and what most people don't know about HBCUs in general is it's not really a whole lot of gospel singing or church singing. It's classically trained. It is chorale style. It is diction. It is all those different things. Classical training on piano. And so those efforts of HBCUs is like, we want to be excellent in music.
Absolutely. And I felt very scared going to a place because I had not really know how to read music. I've learned now, but I didn't know how to read music until I got to Morehouse. Well, I was, first of all, I'm skipping the fact that I didn't know how to read music. I played tenor and alto sax for about 8 years from from 7th grade till senior year in high school. So I did play saxophone. That was my main thing. But from there on, that's how the music journey kind of started. But again, going from that place of Morehouse and then growing up to where I am today, going to Berklee College of Music, that was a very eye-opening moment for me as well. The North is definitely not the South. I went from that whole classical, needing to learn that classical background, and shout out to Dr. Foster and Dr. David Morrow as well for being such great, mentors. But then again, leaving there and saying, oh, let me just tell you why I went to Berklee. So let me do that first. Dr. Foster, which was my vocal coach there, he said to me, this is at Morehouse, he said, Cleveland, because see, when I talk, I kind of want to talk like him, and I don't want to mimic him because I think that's insulting. Because I want to go like this, but I don't want to do that. That's not right. But he said, Cleveland, I want to hear you sing like you sing. I want to hear your voice. And so I did Bridge Over Troubled Waters, but I did BB and CC Wining's version of it, and I did BB's part and I did CC's part.
Wow.
And so he was like, oh my gosh, this just leaps and bounds. Your voice just leaps and bounds. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. And then he one day said to me, he said, you know who I think you really should meet? And I said, who? He said, you should meet the maestro. And I said, maestro who? He said, Bobby McFerrin.
Wow.
So this man took a whole month's time to connect with Bobby McFerrin. And I remember being on the third floor of Raleigh Hall at Morehouse. And eventually, it took 3 weeks, but Bobby McFerrin called back. He finally called him back, and I was happy to be on that floor, and he rushed me into that room. He said, so what are you going to sing? Sing something in case Bobby would ask you to sing. And I was going to sing Autumn Leaves, but we never got to that point. But the point is, I remember speaking to Bobby and saying, oh my God, I can't believe I'm on the phone with Bobby McFerrin. He says, oh, I'm just Bobby, and it was just the coolest thing. He was talking about his son, Taylor. And again, so it was now helping me not have to stay committed to, not say, I don't like the word committed, but I didn't have to just be strictly the choral side of the classical side of singing. He was introducing me to the jazz part, which again, where Joe Jennings comes in and influences me by saying, listen to Little Jimmy Scott. So all that to say, it's been weird. It's been weird, but so good. And I always just wanted to sing jazz anyway. So if I had to tell you the truth about what kind of singer I am, that's what I've always wanted. But then I realized there is a soulful thing that I like to do with it. So I can't just say that's all.
Why do that though? Why put the label on it?
And I'm gonna go. And that being said, I got to give credit to Kevin Bells.
Okay. I
met him at this at a candlelight show. First time I ever met him, and I said, yeah, and I will say, even talking to the two of you, I have y'all in such a, heaven space. I put that as, I get slightly intimidated with jazz cats, and I'm not saying you're jazz cats, but I put you in a certain category. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so, because there's a certain structure and there's also a certain camaraderie that a lot of you do have, and I'm like, damn, I don't quite fit into this, but I want to fit into this. I want to be a part of this. But because, and I've never been denied. Right. However, it's a certain time there could be a certain structure of a song that's natural. We already know who's going to do the solo next, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out, should I be coming in right now? And that's not it. So there's like a secret communication that you all have. It's like secret society. And I feel like a fish out of water sometimes. So I'll be like, okay, ask Justin Barnes. I'm always looking back at him like, But
you're looking though.
Yeah, because I want to know. So it's that kind of thing. But I'm so blessed to be a part of anything. So when you get someone like Chris Burroughs asking you to come and just play with him, you take the opportunity, you run with it, and I'm dead serious, and so I'm saying all that to say I want to do some more. Yeah.
Oh, got you. 2025.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I think, and again, I'm trying to show you, man, the jazz thing, man. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that word scare you.
But it did.
Don't let the words. Don't let that word scare you, man. Because.
But Chris, you got to think about coming into it.
That's what I'm saying. But how did I get into it? I came into it a lot like Cleveland did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming in off of definitely not having the experience of going through school, and he's sitting there laughing but it's true. It's true.
Ask him about one song, Alone.
Tell me about that one song.
Ask about Alone Together.
I'll tell you, everybody's heard that story, and I will share that story with you another time. But what I'm saying is, because I want to get to some other things. We talked enough about jazz and all this jazz stuff.
Sure.
But man, yeah, I think we have a lot in common, because I didn't come in knowing those forms either. I had to learn on the fly, on the stage, getting my butt whipped every night. But it's the same thing as if you want it and you understand that it's going to make you a better musician.
Yes.
That's the whole. It's not that you're trying to be X, Y, and Z. It's about, okay, I want to add this to what I already do because it's going to make me a better. It's going to make me a better musician. That's the
Yeah.
But
whole point.
it's also a language that you have to try to figure out as you're going along.
Yes,
To
sir.
say I'm competent in it. So
But you know what?
you have all the talent in
Ain't
the
no.
world.
But you know what? Ain't no figuring it out. You have to learn it.
You do.
I mean,
But that's
there's
the whole
no.
thing
There's
with anything.
there's
Gospel,
no. Yeah.
gospel's
There's
the
no.
same way for everything.
Exactly. I mean, Tyrone and I talk about all this all the time. We play at the same church every Sunday. Just he and I are the whole band, right?
Hmm.
And there's a lot of cats that can do that. What we do, a heck of a lot better than us. But we're pretty good at it.
Mhm.
But when it comes to this other thing,
Right.
you going to
take a back
come,
seat.
yeah, you're going to pull up because we spent a lot of time
Right.
trying to get that together as well. You can't just walk into this. You can't just walk. That's the thing. It's like It's like walking into another country. If you don't speak
Yeah.
Spanish,
That's
you're not
good.
going down to Mexico and you're not going to survive.
Yeah.
It's
No
the
matter
it's
what your
the same
vocabulary
thing.
is in English.
No, it does. No, it's
Yeah.
the same thing, man. And a lot of cats don't understand that. So again, props to you because you're trying to go through the proper channels
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
learning from the people that actually really know this language, man. And that's what's cool to see, you know.
Listen, I really do honor it. I really do. I listen, I study, again, I've never walked into like a jazz session or like even like we just did the Nat King Cole thing with Justin and Kevin
Justin.
and Louis Haribo.
Mhm.
I walked in and was John Sanford on sax.
Yeah.
I
Great
never
friend.
walk in. I already know they have a certain like they're like this already. And I feel like I'm the little kid coming in and saying, okay. And they are so kind and whatever, but it's just always, I want to understand the language. I want to understand the language. I don't want to just, and what I also love to do is respect melody a lot, even more so with jazz per se.
Right.
Improvisation is really, really nice. And I love to do that too, but it's something about learning the song, learning the melody.
You're learning you have to know the melody, man.
Yeah, because
even as the
singing
drummer,
it-
I have to know the melody. That's right.
yeah. So that's been another thing too. Like so I can get a little antsy personally with me about knowing the music because I'm also representing myself outside of just the group itself. Like, and if they're saying this person who's not say so locked in like we are, and we're asking him to come in and do it, there's definitely some faith in there.
Yeah.
And I also don't want you to lose that faith. So I have to sit and study. I have to think about what I'm doing. A song that challenged me the most with it was Stardust. And there was one little half note that I kept overshooting the whole time. I kept thinking like, why is it? Eventually I got it, and I'm okay now, but it took some time to really get there. And I remember us Lily applauding me when I finally got it. And I felt like the kid in the candy store who finally just a half note up or down, I think it was. It was but it was that's just the respect that I have for like it's not willy-nilly for me. It's not something to play with. I always look at and listen to Gregory Porter for what he does. Of course, I listen to the greats as well. Because we recently also did a little Jimmy Scott and what was that guy, Billy Eckstein? Yeah, we did that show as well, and I felt like a fish out of water with that. But I feel like fish out of water a lot of times, but I will step up and try.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and then we can turn the page from this part of the discussion. Okay. You need to hang out with me for 3 weeks.
I'm with you.
I mean, not 7 days a week, but once a week. Okay. I'm curious. You need to hang out and bring your piano chops. Whatever limitations they are, we'll work on some things. Okay.
Yeah, because there's some limitations, brother. But at least I'm honest. I'm honest.
All I need is 3 fingers. 3 fingers, bro. If you give me 3 fingers, I got you.
Got you covered.
All right.
Awesome.
1 in the left hand, 2 in the right hand. If you got that, I got you.
Oh, 1 in the left. That's how I play.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that,
I got
that
you.
works good.
Well, we're gonna
Perfect.
expand that though. We can't let you
Okay.
stay there, but we gonna.
Okay.
But there's a starting point. If you get that,
Yes.
you got
Yes. I'm honored. Yes.
you. Okay.
Beautiful, man. All right. Well, I have just kind of. We'll see how far we get with this because we may have to do a whole show on this next question because it's kind of a loaded question. But
Okay.
I was told or asked, well, told us that I needed to go watch the Luther Vandross documentary
Yeah.
by my partner over here. Well, he's over here. No, he's over here now. Where are you? This way. He's this way. Wait a minute. Now he's gone.
So he's nowhere. Now he.
Oh,
There he
there we
goes.
go. Back there.
He don't like being on the. He don't like being first for some
I don't
reason.
like to be on.
I like being in the middle. Let me be in the middle, man. I like being in the middle.
This is the right orientation, bro.
Okay.
So anyway, but and we made to do a whole like show on this because it's I think it's a loaded question. But
Yeah.
you know, watching the documentary
Mhm.
and growing up on, you know, Luther's music, you know, I didn't know I was listening to Luther, but I was very young when I heard David Bowie's Young Americans record,
Yes, sir.
which he's singing backgrounds on.
Mhm.
And you know, my sister had hundreds of records, and that was one that was played a lot in the house was Young Americans. And so that was my first hearing him. And then obviously, you know, up through, you know, his first solo albums and then as he become a star and all this. But what I really took from that documentary, man, was watching the work ethic, dude, of, you know, people just think that you're just blessed,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
With what we do. Oh, you just blessed, you know.
So
And I
talented.
think, yeah, and I think singers get like
Yeah.
they just think you can just do it,
Yeah.
right? And of course, there's natural ability there, but to get it, it's a muscle. You have to constantly work at this thing, and I think a lot of people don't really understand
Mhm.
the the hours that it takes to be able to do, you know, what you do. But checking that out and just checking out, like, because I'm a big Lisa Fisher fan as well, so
Yes, absolutely.
you know, Ava Cherry. I mean, I'm a fan of everybody. You know, and Marcus Miller, of course. But man, the work ethic of when there was a scene, a couple scenes where he was going over parts. They had a boom box. And he was playing this song over, and they were going over their parts, and he's
Mhm.
like, it was almost military like
Mhm.
what was going on because it was absolutely there was no room other than for perfection in
Correct.
terms of. And but watching this, and I just it kind of hit me like, man, what has happened to sing that level of singing and that level of um wanting to be that great.
Mhm.
um and you know, so I this is, you know, we got a great singer on here, so I just wanted to get your opinion on that because I mean, maybe I'm sure there's a lot of, I hear a lot of great on there's a lot of great people that are doing all these gymnastics and, like, you know, probably do all these crazy runs and can hit all these notes, but
Mhm.
you don't feel anything
Oh, that's
that
right.
they're that they're doing. You know, it's the same thing with drumming. You see these cats doing just, I mean, stuff that you can't even imagine that can be done, but nobody's hitting this.
Yep.
So I wanted to get your opinion on that as to how you feel about um, where that is today, and maybe you have a different opinion about that. I don't know.
No,
I was just
I'm pretty
curious.
close to what you're saying. I do. In fact, it's funny enough. I had a conversation today with a friend of mine about what, and because I have friends who believe that Cleveland, you're a star, and that's a loose term for me. You're a star. You
Mm.
should be out here. You should be doing this and whatever. You just haven't met the right people, or you just haven't got the right team or band or whatever that's supposed to be. When you speak of, when I think of Luther, and I listened, first of all, I saw the film. I went to the theater in November to go see it in at Phipps Plaza, and I left very perplexed. I left very emotional. Because the whole gamut of the film, not just his
Right.
vocal ability,
Right.
his life, how he lived, and what he, it
Right.
was just
Absolutely.
the story. So I felt very sad,
Absolutely.
honestly, watching someone who deserved probably so much, but didn't,
Right.
get not just in love for himself, but just
Right.
overall,
Right.
even his musicality. I don't think that it really got his just due. Thankfully, he left such a beautiful legacy that we still remember and talk about it. There's a film about him. But comparing that, well, what do I think happened is time evolution, of course. It became, and I'm going to say this, and this is because I like sometimes to do the melismas and the riffs, but however, I make sure that it's not my everything. Like every single note does not need it. It just doesn't. Sing the melody, give a little, okay, great example. I got to Berklee College of Music and we had to do the whole ratings test. I think they should stop that crap. That's another story for another day. But you get there, you have to do the ratings test. The rating is that, you go in front of one of the teachers and you sing something and they'll say, oh, okay, I think you should be, I think the highest was a 7 and the lowest was, of course, a 1. I think I walked in as a 4. And she said, she says, Cleveland, you have an amazing voice. And she says, I look at voices like cake. She says, like, you have this big, full, great, solid cake. And she says, you have a bunch of icing on top of it.
Oh, wow.
And she says, I would love to just shave some of that icing off. Just a little bit of the icing off. Never left my head. Her name was Ann Peckham. Thank you, Ann. For saying that to me, because, you walk into, everything was not summertime and the living is easy. Everything just, there's a beautiful melody that's already there. Honor it. And then that's when I met Vince. Also, if you don't know, familiar with him.
Of course.
So, Vince, I was there one summer. Vince took me right up under his wing, and he was like, you know what? You need to spend the summer with me in McRae, Georgia, and we need to work on some stuff together. I took off a whole semester. My first semester at Berklee was 2006 that summer, and that fall semester I was in McRae, Georgia, working with Vince, understanding how to produce work, vocals, all that stuff. But also getting back to the Luther thing, is that what I felt changed is that it became the popular thing to do, and people understood it's trend, and people follow trends, and it becomes a thing. Now, when you send me in my inbox I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but if you send me something of a great singer and they're good, I would like to call out a name, but I won't do that because I'm really cautious, because I'm an artist too. But there's a female singer that is phenomenal. Like she's crazy. She's so good. But I get so much wonderment from her versus feel. And when you were saying the word feel, I'm way more into, did you feel me though? And and even if it's just one person, I don't need the masses to understand. And that's what I believe happened. I believe that people became wowed, and that's all they look for. So now that it's became it's the common, it's the norm now to give you the highest note,
the wow moment,
all the wows, and the wows, and there's no soul in it, And I'm saying not just soul music or soul sound, but it's just the soul is gone. It's just like, okay, great, that was wonderful, but the crowd, the children, even now, I don't want to talk about millennials or whatever. I don't know. I'm Gen X, whatever that's supposed to be. But it's easy to just be coerced, if you will, into this space of a sound. And that is, if you don't do that, you're not good.
Right.
Wow.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's,
in church, that seems to be the thing too.
Woo, church is the one.
Is to, like, if you're not doing that, it's like an episode, it's like a line from Sparta. Are you not entertained? It's like if I'm not doing this run, I'm not singing.
Yeah, and that's not true.
I don't have this on it, and I mean, I remember I have a blues class that I teach, and I play a song by Etta James she did I think it was that last whatever, the one that Beyonce did, right? And whatever.
Yeah.
Beyonce is incredible. Okay, don't get me wrong.
I get it.
But when I hear Etta James sing it, I believe it's not at last, it's I'd Rather Go Blind, I think.
Okay, yeah, the one she did on Cadillac Records.
Yeah, on Cadillac Records,
yeah.
Right. And when I heard Etta sing it, it's like, why do I believe it so much more when she sings it? Right.
Well, because there's a certain experience and also conviction that comes with a lot of stuff. And I mean, and there are also, okay, I remember, I think his name is Johnny Lang. He's a young white kid who sings.
Yeah, Johnny Lang. Yeah.
And he's so young, but his sound and feeling and conviction in singing is very convincing to me.
Right. Right.
So I was gonna say that is because, you know, she hasn't had the experience. Now, I don't know what Beyonce went through or didn't go through, but there is a certain conviction that Etta does bring that Beyonce did not bring to that. And I'm a Beyonce fan. So for the sake of whoever sees this, don't come for me. Because I ain't got nothing for you. But no, I'm still serious about that. Don't do it. But in the end, because I know people are real sensitive about that, you know, stop that mess. We just humans with opinions. But in the end, I do believe that some of it just gets really lost and it becomes a whole about who can do the next thing. And then what's the next, again, the highest note though, whatever that is. And then it just becomes a thing where if you can't do that, then you're not good enough. And once I saw that was becoming a thing, because I would get inbox messages like, say, Instagram stuff. I said, oh my God, Cleve, I know you could do this, please. Or, you know, especially if there's a vocal challenge. You have not seen me do any of those things because I'm not proving it to nobody. I'm not into it. I'm not into it. I'm never really a bandwagon follower. I don't really follow that much. That's just not me. I'm kind of a silent rebel. That's what I really consider myself. So you can do what you want to do, but I'm over here already making something else happen while you're talking. So, you know, and it's silent, you know.
And been there, done that, right?
Been there, done that. But even if I'm learning, and I'm taking my little nuggets from what I'm hearing, so I am very inspired by the new too. Don't get me wrong, I'm inspired by but I still don't feel like I need to fit and be like it. Like because it means if I'm going to be like it's already been done. Luther Vandross has already done this. However, it would be wonderful to hear these beautiful sounds come out of other people who still understand melody, texture. I listened to Luther's voice throughout that film, and when I listened, I kept saying, "Wow, wait a minute," because there's something in my voice that's the same, which is there's a little small rasp that sits in a space throughout his voice.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's never been for me the ornamental stuff. It's like, and I'm not going to try to even sing, but when he sings, "Long Ago and Far Away,"
yes, do you remember something?
It's like, I want to tell you, baby, that I was like, whoa, that little bit of rasp, that little
right in there,
with the control of it, that's way better than any other.
I'm telling you, exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
but that was like that.
Once I mean, and I learned, and that was
gravel to have the soul, man.
I'm telling you, and that was one of the things I had it as a kid. And I was very, very insecure about that. So I grew up thinking like, I just don't sing pure enough. I was an insecure singer. And even some days I still have moments like that because, you know, like for instance, when we did the show at the Lake Oconee with Mr. Burroughs, I was like, listen, it's early. I don't know what's going to happen. But for some reason, I don't know if there's an autopilot that sits inside of me. Yeah. And also the musicianship is such high quality. I just go and it just turns out well. But back to Luther, I honor that man. I did not grow up. So if you told me to sing a Luther song, I would be like, I don't know that. So because also this assumed that because I'm black, I know it. I don't know it because I'm black. You know, I've heard the songs, but I don't know it like that. You know, I'll learn it. But I said all that to say, like, I have such high respect for what he's brought to the world at large with what he's done. But I still, when you refer back to the film, it was I left really sad. I felt for him, you know. That's what I felt when I left that space. Yeah. Outside of the amazing vocal stuff that he did, and his work ethic was amazing. And also, I'm going to say this too. what Luther did and what I saw him doing in that film was something I've always been afraid to do, always wanted. I always wanted a dedicated group of people who were with me. But that's why there's no Cleveland P. Jones quartet or band or trio, because I'm like, I got to pay people. I don't have the money. So I opt out and say, you know what? If I can't pay folk, I'm not doing it. So now a lot of people, and I do know, like my brother Landon, who's a drummer, he'll say, Cleve, man, just call me. You know, I got you. But my conviction goes to people, you know, I don't think that I'm not that bad, you know, that I can do it. But I just always think about,
can I give you some perspective?
Yes,
can I give you a little perspective?
Absolutely.
Those cats want to be a part of what you're doing. So you got to allow it. When you get to, all right, not that me and Chris are these sage people stuff, but
you are.
We want to work on projects we want to work on, and money, because we're getting paid money on projects we don't want to be on.
So I understand that. I do understand that.
There's gotta be a parallel to that, right? If there's gigs that we don't want, it's not getting anything musically out of, but we're getting paid a lot of money, there's got to be gigs that we want to do but doesn't pay any money, right? So it's got to be the reverse of that. So maybe Landon is playing with everybody, all Kyrie's recording sessions. You think he's making money, Cleveland? He's not worried about that. So think about it. He might want to be a part of something that you're doing. And you have to allow people to bless you with that time, even though I think like that too. That's why I know. And sometimes
that's my country, you know.
But I have a friend, I have a good friend that we do barter stuff with. And that friend is right next to me. So we don't charge each other because we want to be a part of each other's project. So I don't know if we ever run in tab who got, you know, who's doing more, whatever, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
So you have to allow sometimes people to say, Cleveland, let me bless you. I want to be a part of this. I know you ain't got no bread. Now, there's a way you can say that from the beginning. Hey, man,
I ain't got no bread.
I'm gonna take you up on an offer, but what I will say, you're gonna get experience out deal.
Yeah, and that's been and it's good to hear that, but that's been very hard for me for my personality.
Let it go,
very hard
because you might be missing out on a great situation, even if it's a single, even if it's one song, you might be missing out on it. You know, and I'm very much like that. So I'm preaching to the choir. You know, so but I could see that. You know, I know Landon. Landon is not hurting for that, so yeah. But you also gonna have some people gonna come through and want to use you up, so you got to be discerning about that as well. So,
exactly.
Your microphone,
your mic,
Chris. Come on, Cleveland.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
yes, we can.
It was just muted, bro. Just relax.
All right, bro. Come on, don't act like you have issues in the past.
He going all the way. Just relax, bro. It's okay.
Don't act like this has never happened before, bro.
It's just relax. Just relax. But even if something happened, you got it, right? You got it. It's all good. It's all good. Now what I was saying is the best system, man, is everybody just work on everybody's stuff.
I agree.
And because that's really how you'd be surprised, things that you think costed a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was everybody doing it, just working on everybody's stuff together. And helping that person, because if that person becomes successful, then everybody else is going to be successful.
Absolutely. I'm definitely that guy who wants to keep let's keep it raising.
That's that's the best, in my opinion.
Well, I will openly admit that I'm definitely in my way for that. Like, you know, I became
smarter.
Yeah, I gave up, and I will openly give this little small confession. Like back in 2022, February, I think that I had just had it. Something happened, and I just had it. And I remember calling. I had it, and I called my friend Roxanne. She was in Topeka, Kansas. Again, God bless her soul. I called and I said, Roxanne, I'm going to say something to you, and I said, I want you to just hear me, because I know she'll interject, but you know, because I know she wanted to manage my career, and I believe in you, Cleveland. And I said, Roxanne, I've officially given up. I said, I'm done. I said, I've lost the taste, not for music, but for this business.
Right.
Because it was putting forth so much effort to do things, and it just seems like everything just backfired. And also, I grew up in, again, still I'm still also fighting myself out of the mentality of, expect the worst, hope for the best, and more than likely you're gonna probably lean more over to the traumatic, the negative than the positive. And I've been trying to fight myself out of that, and I know that I strictly put all fingers back on me for what has not flourished, maybe. But even when I try to open up the portal to let it flow, you end up seeing that there are vultures out there who, they're, how to say, wolves in sheep clothing, and they look like one thing, and I'm thinking, I'm not even a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not Greg Reporter. I'm not this person. And well, why are you doing this to somebody like me who doesn't really have anything? So it gets kind of, so that's when I knew, I say, if it's like this on this little scale, I don't want it. It's too much going on. And I'm not saying that this is my forever, because currently I am working on a project, and we'll see where that goes. But
maybe we can transition into what's happening now for you. Where can people hear you? I just thought about another gig I was on with you though. I believe it was Robbie Hanley, me, you. It was one of those Atlanta
ATL Collective.
ATL Collective.
Which one did we do?
I can't remember.
They put me on obscure ones.
Yeah. It was Ansley was on it.
Yeah.
Ansley. I can't remember who else was on it.
Where were we? Do you remember the venue?
I just remember we were like Little 5 Points area, and it was cold or something like that. We had to go from.
So
we
maybe
rehearsed right before.
Aisle 5, maybe.
That's what it is. Aisle 5.
Yeah.
Boy, you got a good memory.
That's what I'm imagining that would be the place.
Yeah. But I can't remember. I mean, I know we worked on that one together. So yeah.
Okay, we'll see. I can't tell you what that show was though. That's fine.
I can't either, but I remember we worked together, and it was cool because we didn't have a rehearsal, but right before the gig.
Okay, because we were in the back.
Yeah.
It was kind of dark back there.
Yes.
And I just remember small little nuggets of things. But yeah.
Right. Cool. So what are you doing now? Where can we hear you? All this kind of stuff.
Well, you can currently hear me, of course, on social media / the digital platforms. Now, I'm not here trying to knock it off or anything like that too, but like I'm real. It's like I feel I'm grateful for everything that I've done, because all of it is a building block to where I am now and where I'm going to go. I get that part. Okay. When I go back and listen to what I've done, I sometimes say, "Ooh, yeah, you were having a moment, and you were just putting it out there." Like I remember not investing a lot of money into the actual mix and mastering of things, and saying, "Oh, let me just do this aria thing, mastering," trying to just consolidate and not spend so much money. And I realized, when you really want to put out something that's quality, you really got to sometimes spend the money for it, specifically, and also because it represents you.
Yeah.
And so that was a big lesson for me now. But you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on, what is it? iTunes and Spotify, stuff like that. You can just put up Cleveland P. Jones and I'll pop up. Apple Music, yeah. But I'm in such a variety of stuff. It's from jazz to other projects. You're gonna hear what's the thing? House music. That's been something that I've been doing lately as well. That's been pretty fun with DJ Spin, also Sai Says, figuring all that stuff out. I like it, but not enough. Truthfully, not enough to want to continue to do it. That is not where I want my life to be. I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
Well,
but whatever pays the bills, though, at some point.
That part,
stuff, man.
That's why I still will do it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, some things. It's like, man, some things. It's just a job, man.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but I do appreciate all of it. However, it's
you never know. You might find yourself in the UK. Noise. and
I would like to sit right there in that audience and watch and dance with them. I don't want to be listening. I don't want to. I just don't want to. It's like, okay, that was a one shot. That was a one-time thing. All right, next. Give a recording. So anyway, we can talk about that all day long.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And
appreciate you all so much.
We enjoyed the hang, man. Yeah. We're gonna do we'll do some more, and
2025, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Burroughs.
Got it.
Mr. Jones.
I'm
Got
around.
stuff.
So
Got stuff to do. Hey, Frankie.
I'm around.
Nice.
I'm around. So
wait a minute, are we on something? We're not just us.
No.
Oh, y'all should have told me. Okay, hey, everybody. I mean, I'm just feeling all free.
Too late, baby.
Oh, well, it is what it is. I ain't taking nothing of it back. Can't do that.
Hey, you did a good job protecting some people. So.
I sure did.
You could have gone Cat Williams on us and blow us all up, bro.
I don't want to do that. Cat was
too
probably
much,
telling
man.
a whole lot of truth in that thing.
Right.
But anyway, I appreciate y'all.
Hey, man. Well, I enjoyed it. We got some stuff coming up. So
I'm here.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, man.
Indeed.
And
this is such an honor. I really.
Oh man,
this is so great.
Gotta make you gotta make you a regular.
Yeah,
come on and just
I have a voice. I have something to say.
Oh, look at this, bro. Look, this man right here, bro. This
Kyrie!
Oh, the Oracle.
Listen.
The Oracle.
Kyrie's like a different kind of a Jesus, you know?
The Oracle. The Oracle.
He's a different Jesus. He's
like
this
dude is like a commercial.
I knew him when he was baby Jesus, though.
Oh, this person said they would like to hear more about the transition from Morehouse and then going to Berkeley. Woo. Okay. Well, I can truly say that it was definitely a whole different thing. Specifically going from the South to the North was a whole culture shock for me. Morehouse, of course, that was like breeding ground for learning and doing the classical music. Berkeley was definitely, you had this whole big hodgepodge of everybody from around the world coming into one space, doing this one thing. And what I did love most about Berkeley was that, it didn't matter. There was no, I hate to say it, but there was no racial divide. It's like, if you could do it, you did it. Like I was saying Japanese pop, which I never thought I would do. I was just saying stuff. Yeah, I was doing it. Like they was Cleveland, could you sing with me? Sure. I was rapping. I don't even care for hip hop, honestly. Don't beat me up, people. I'm just not my thing, but I like beats. I do like beats. I like beats. I just don't know when you start talking and rapping, I don't know what you're really saying. And I don't focus on it. No, I really don't. I'm more like, oh, that's a great. Now, I will listen to MC Light, and I like the way Common flows, and maybe JC, but don't quote me. Let's get off of that. But anyway, but transitioning from Morehouse to Berkeley for me was kind of again, somewhat of a culture shock. But I feel like I got to learn so much more and be more free musically at Berkeley because it was just so open, so vast. However, again, you're still dealing with the ego stuff didn't stop. That's one thing that didn't change. And I'm grateful to all the people in the vocal department who saw something in me or whatever. But outside of that, from Morehouse to Berkeley, I don't regret either one of them. They're both expensive. So here we are. But I love both of them, and it was totally worth it. He says, how did you get the gig with Ganesh? Oh, wow. Okay. That's a great question. I'm going to take it back to 2000, I think it's July 31st, 2015. ATL Collective was doing a tribute to the Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. I had no idea who Ganesh was. He was there, and he sent me an inbox the next day, to my knowledge, on Facebook saying, I saw you that night. You were great. I would love to get to know you. Have a band, da 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 da. And literally, I met up with him, auditioned with him, ended up singing with them, and I've been now with them almost going into 9 years with Yacht Rock Schooner.
Wow,
almost 9 years. Yeah.
Craziness.
So that's how I met him through. It was a Stevie Wonder tribute show, 2015.
Val Goo's asking these questions. I'm like, where are these questions coming from? I'm looking on.
You don't see them?
No, you gotta go to the comments to see the other people.
Oh, you thought I was? Oh, there are comments here?
Yeah, go up to the comments.
Oh my gosh, snap! I didn't know any of that was here. I'm going to steal that. Oh my God, Lori! I didn't even know this thing existed.
I'm looking on.
Success in the
looking stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, where are these questions coming from?
Thank you, Bradley Thomas, and oh gosh, I had no idea, y'all.
Preferred list of questions, right?
Hey, Mark and Rich, I didn't even know this thing existed. Y'all, forgive me. I'm a country old boy. Nobody see. I'm grateful to be here with Tyrone and Mr. Chris. However, they did not give me full instructions that all these things were on the side, so I didn't know there was. I just saw the private chat.
I thought you knew, man. You know,
I love this.
I
I didn't
thought
see
you
any of
knew.
it.
He just
Wow.
Thought you
told
knew.
you. He told you his motive operandi. He said he give little details. He said just you'll see what cat's gonna do. You know.
And there you have it. There you have it. And here we go. Yes. Hey, Lori.
Quick question.
This
Since
is so
we talked
cool.
about Stevie Wonder, quick question,
Absolutely.
real quick.
Yes, sir.
I always say Stevie Wonder songs is you listen to them, you're like, oh, that's easy. Until you go to learn it, and you're like, well,
let me go here with you on that.
It's so singable, right? And and playable too. When I go to play, I was like, oh, I could play this song. Until you go to play
Not
it.
that too, but the vocal capacity that Stevie possessed to this day, and I gotta say, I was big shout out to Spencer Pope for getting a last minute ticket because I'd never seen Stevie live, so I was there. What was it last year?
Yeah,
was it August 19th or something like that? I think it was something like that. So I kept thinking I'm working on a Stevie project. Thank you, Kyrie. But that in itself, I had to be in the space to experience the actual master himself, do what he does. I'm just proud to be a part of anything that's related to it. You know, again, shout out to anything that Stevie has done. I'm still like a kid in the candy store, not knowing so much about all these projects that he's done. I don't know half of the stuff this man has done. Yeah. So, but the vocal part, let me go here. The vocal part, there is some, I don't even know what to say. It's just, it's quite unreal. His range, not just range, but the fullness of his range. Right. That's what I want to say. The fullness of his range.
That you could sing it until you go to sing it. Now you can.
Well, no.
But a lay person like me go to sing it.
See, I don't know that part. See what I'm saying? But here's the deal. I'm also okay with changing the key.
Thank you.
Because I don't need to match Stevie. Stevie's already done it. And that's a big thing that I've learned that's been good for me, is not feeling like I gotta match up or be like someone else. Like, okay, Stevie's mastered it. He's already done this thing. So here I am just finding my way through it. So any little thing that I can offer that is even a remnants of Stevie change that key.
Look, my brother, a quick story. I think I've told this story before. My brother sang da 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 da. What's the name? Ribbon in the Sky, right?
Yes.
So he sang it. And I had to hit four half steps down on my transpose button, right? And so the next song,
I'm not laughing at you.
Right after that, you go through 2 key changes, right? I'm like, man, I'm not gonna learn this in another key. I'm just gonna hit the button, right? So, man, the cat who sang after me was this guy named Mr. Watson. Mr. Watson was like almost 80 years old. Beautiful voice. Didn't know a lot about music. Played completely self-taught, played by ear, and sang by ear. And the next song, it starts off with a piano lick that goes da 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 da, and he goes, "I'll always remember." Right, bruh? I forgot to hit the transpose button. Back. So minus 4 half steps is actually plus 8 half steps, depending on where you're going to start the range at. So I went, and Mr. Watson went,
So he tried. God bless his heart for trying.
And he did, and all of a sudden I was like, that's when I remind myself, oh, snap. So I put it down, like click, 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 click. And I started off, and he started singing. So after the gig was over, I ran to him. I said, Mr. Watson, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Watson didn't understand. I told him, I said, I forgot to transpose. He doesn't know music, right? So he says, young man, I don't know what you're talking about. I just know I need to hang it up because I've never done that before. I said, Mr. Watson, I promise you, it's not you, man.
Yeah, it was me.
It's me. Yes. It's me. He says, no, it's time to give it up.
Oh no! Tell me,
you done made the man retire.
That's what I'm saying.
Retire.
Oh.
I said I will never touch that button again. I will never touch the transpose button again. I will sink or swim trying to figure it out and messing it up. I will never press.
Let's find that key, right? But again, never needed to fit in and need to be like, being inspired is a whole different ballgame, but I don't need to be Stevie, but I am such a huge fan, and anything that I could do that's related to it, I will jump at it. So, but I will give a little hint that I am working on a Stevie Wonder project right now, and it's hopefully near finishing.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
to be released possibly this year. So that's just
Beautiful.
one little hint that I could give about it, and it's an honor to be a part of it. And I know when you all hear it, you will judge me deeply, and it's okay. Just know that I gave my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be like, you know,
interpretations of the songs.
Yes.
Beautiful. That's
Yes.
what I want to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah. So just want to give you that hint. Shout out to Kyrie with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Kyrie got his hands in everybody.
He does.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Kyrie's a commercial. Everywhere you want to be, man. That's that.
There's Kyrie. Everywhere you want to be, there's Kyrie. Kyrie, you better coin that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere you want to be, there's Kyrie.
Everywhere you want to be, there's Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. You're that dude.
Well, all right, my man.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. We will.
Listen, thank you. This is such an honor. This felt so nice and easy and honest. And, you know, I'm glad that I did see that there was a chat side over here, and I didn't say anything.
See, now you know.
Instead
now
I know. Preferred chat that has.
Now you know. Now you know.
I just saw the private chat. Oh, this is
now
October 19th, 2024.
That was that concert he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yes, October.
We don't need to have that direct line to our producer, bro.
But thank you, Brian. Yes, I was there. And it was amazing. And that was my birthday gift because my birthday is October 14th. So I was able to go and enjoy it.
What's your October 3rd? What are you, Chris?
17th.
17th. Yeah.
Libra.
Kathleen, me and Kathleen, I think, are the same. And Russell's the 18th.
Also, Robin Lattimore. Also, Ron James.
I'm so sorry y'all missed the month by a month.
Don't do that.
November 19th.
Tyrone, don't do that.
November 19th in the house.
Don't do that, Tyrone. We're ending the session, right? It's great. So thank
you. Let him have it, man. Let him have it. Let him have his little, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you
let him have it. All right.
Good old Scorpio.
All right, brother. Listen.
All right. Guys,
we will.
Thank you so much, brother.
We will see you. Yeah, man. We'll see you on the other side, bro. We'll see
yes,
you
will. You will.
Okay.
All right.
All right, man. Okay, man.
Peace.
All right, Cleve.
Take care.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Cleve. Man, I was about to get into it, man.
That was good. Good interview.
I want to hear more about the lack of singing, man. I gotta.
Well, we bring him back for that.
I got an axe to grind, man. I can't.
Maybe tonight.
After watching that, man, I was like, man.
Maybe tonight wasn't a night to do that, bro.
No, it wasn't because it was going to be a whole nother. But we need to have a state. We're gonna have a State of the Union, and we're gonna have cats from different. We're gonna have singer. We're gonna have all different instruments. We're gonna get out here and we're gonna talk.
Okay.
And just maybe we'll call it the "Get Off My Lawn" episode.
Yeah, because they got some piano players that's doing some incredible things, and like Cleveland said, I don't want to be spending my time trying to match those joints. Like Jesus Molina, he's like piano plays. He goes that 1, and you have your right hand doing this. He's like 2, and your left hand does this, and 3, and then your thumb's doing something. Like, bro, ain't nobody got time for that, bro. Ain't nobody got time for that.
But I'm like,
I'm a proven type of person. I got chops, right? But I'm like, hey, come on. People can say Tyrone can do that.
But that's my thing. But do you feel it, bro? That's my question. You feel it where?
I feel like it's a challenge. No.
You're right. That's where you feel it.
I feel like I ain't got the time for that. I got this stuff to do.
You one of them undefeated cats, man. I call you the undefeated. You undefeated, bro. You will not be defeated, man.
You will not be defeated.
You will not be defeated. You want to, man.
I'm Rocky Balboa, bro. Come on, hit me. Come on, man.
Hit me harder. Hit me harder. Hit me harder. Hit me harder.
Come in there. Yeah, that's all you got.
Undefeated cats, man.
Meanwhile, I got
y'all can have it. Y'all can have that.
Well, you don't see me doing it, but I take on challenges, bro. But
I know that's my point. That's your nature. That's all. I mean, that's what you got. What you got to do.
Yeah, it's got to be. But man, I can't wait to work with it. That was nice, man. We got to get some stuff happening in 2025.
And we got to get back to the challenge. I think is just getting back to that mindset because at least for
let's
me
create.
personally,
Because when I did a Gen
yeah,
conference with I'll say my group with people I collaborated with, it was so refreshing just to do what we do. Remember, you told me it's like, hey
keep
man,
going,
I'm in the park. Oh
keep going,
wow, now you're gone. Okay.
keep going, keep
I
going. I'm
get to
right
go,
here.
bro. It's just
I'm right
anticlimactic.
here.
I feel like you're just stepping off on these, nuggets that I'm dropping right here. But that's okay.
I can hear you.
Everybody out there, no,
Can a, can a, can a,
let me play
can a
break
brother
for you.
wipe his nose? I mean,
No, but the thing is,
I
bro,
don't
let
want.
me
I mean, I'm trying to keep
it's
a.
a
I'm
great
trying to keep a
conversation,
certain.
bro. Amazing,
You
bro.
know, to keep us in a certain.
You
You
being true to
know.
yourself. You just walk off on a brother, just like Cleveland said. You ghosted me.
I said I can hear you. Why you
Terry
got you?
McMillan Jr.
You have abandoned. You have abandonment issues, man. You got
Yes,
abandonment. I can
yeah.
see. I can
Middle
see.
child, bro. Middle child. I had to go with everybody, bro. I couldn't be by myself. Well, no, I don't have abandonment issues. Can I be by myself for 1 second? I've shared a room growing up my whole life. My older brother had to. I know he hated it. Take Tyrone with you. Oh man. Then when Don left, take Dave with you. I'm like,
I was the same way.
self.
Same way, man. I was a young, so they had to take me everywhere. Everywhere, man. I know I was messing all kind of stuff up, bro. Because when you gotta take you try to get out the house, man. As a teenager, nope.
Nope.
Take it.
Take him with you.
Going with you. Be going with you. Going with you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
great episode though, man. Enjoyed. I think about like some of the stuff he was saying, dude. Now that I look back on anything that I've ever done with him, man, that brother is gone. I'm like, gigs
That
over.
Mike will travel, huh? Just
I'm
unplug a
like,
mic.
man, he's out quicker than me. I mean, I'm a
Yeah,
drummer,
that's
so I'm gonna be
crazy.
there for a second packing up. But I thought I was the master of
He's usually out.
Zeus. I mean, that cat. Now that I think about it, man,
Yeah.
that brother was gone.
You know what the greatest thing is though? The invention of Cash App, Zelle, and all that kind of stuff. Because remember when you had to
Oh
wait around
man.
for checks?
Oh
Right now you can
man.
just get it and go, bro. You put
Who you telling,
that
man?
little ding, ding.
Oh,
I'm out. Venmo. Got you. Boy, wait around. Boy, I used to play with a jazz violinist. I must go ahead and say his name so he could pop up. Michael Ward. You would not get paid from Michael Ward until he had every chord wrapped up. So you might as well just start wrapping up chords,
uh,
putting down
you
speaking.
remember the days of man cats? You just see cats sitting around, man.
Right, just waiting.
Be be mad, just be sitting around, man. Especially
Right.
when the days of because a lot of gigs we used to get paid in cash,
In
right?
cash. You have to wait.
So you had to wait for the cat to count the money at the end of the night, man, and you sitting around all night waiting for cats, man.
Well, what about this joint? You waiting around, the cat say, hey man, I got the money, but here's the thing. They gave me a check. So I will meet y'all. Wait, first I'm gonna deposit the check. It's gonna take 2 to 3
Bro,
business days to
the
clear.
meat, bro. You remember the meetup, dude?
Can y'all meet me at the Kroger in West End? The shoot up Kroger? Yeah, we'll be all right. All right.
Oh my god, the meetup, dude.
Can
The
y'all meet
meetup.
me at the ATM? ATM.
I know who that is. Oh, what about you to take the cat to the ATM?
Oh yes. You have to. Hey, pick me up. We're gonna go to the ATM. You hungry? You hungry? No, man, I'm not really hungry. I just want to get this money. Hey man, can you stop at this Waffle House while we go to the man, I think they'll make change at Waffle House if I go to Waffle House. They
This
got
is true story. This is for
yeah,
anybody that think this is true story.
true.
This is true story. True story.
Those
Oh,
days, bro. That Cash App and Venmo. Shout out to that.
oh, dude. All right, y'all. My sinuses are it's over. It's been over actually. Thank you so much. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to the channel. Share this. podcast. And we will see you next week. Next week, we got Joe Granston.
Whoa, boy.
We got Joe Granston. We finna tear him up, y'all. No, I'm just kidding.
Domain.
That's our boy. Can't wait for that one. We will see you guys next week. Yes. Peace.